namely in phones like the OnePlus 6T, but they've mostly been optical fingerprint sensors, shining a light on your finger to actually read your fingerprint. These ultrasonic ones don't use that, so they have a couple advantages. Number one, they'll be faster. Number two, they don't need to shine a super bright light on your finger to read it, so it'll be way less annoying in dim light or at night. And number three, it can read the fingerprints before waking up the display at all. That is a pretty sweet feature that I'm really happy about. So the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor, I'm looking forward to using. So then that brings us to number three, the third main new feature with Galaxy S10, which is the cameras, plural. So Galaxy S10 now has the triple cameras on the back. So Samsung is finally doing the three different focal lengths, one main camera, one telephoto, and one super wide, which is sick. I've been waiting for that, and I hope Apple gets on this train next. So Samsung has had for a while one of the best cameras in any smartphone. So fingers crossed this continued improvement in image quality and color science keeps going. We'll find out all these things in the full review, so definitely make sure you subscribe to see that when it comes out. But the new cameras on the back are already welcome. The main camera is a 12 megapixel sensor, dual aperture f1.5 or 2.4 with OIS. Then the telephoto is also f2.4 and has OIS. And the ultra wide, it doesn't have OIS, but you'll hardly need it at 123 degrees anyway. And it opens up to f2.2. I, for one, hope everyone adopts some sort of ultra wide camera. I personally love the look. And then in software like Apple and Huawei and LG have done, you can sort of seamlessly zoom between the cameras and it'll switch automatically which camera you're on depending on how far you're zoomed in. It also keeps the intelligent camera modes with the improved scene recognition and all of that. Honestly, it's looking like a winning package in the camera department, but of course we have to test that all to find out. Matter of fact, make sure you're following me on Twitter and also Instagram to see those sample photos of this when I start to get it, because from the day that this video gets uploaded and posted, I'm already gonna start posting sample photos, so you can see those. So that's it for the main changes, but of course, since it's Samsung, they've thrown in a ton of other little stuff because that's their style, and it's good stuff. So first of all, the batteries are significantly bigger. Galaxy S10 is now a 3,400 milliamp hour battery, and Galaxy S10 Plus is now a 4,100 milliamp hour battery, so that's nice. And the specs and materials are variable. So the one constant is Snapdragon 855 through everything. That's great. Then the Galaxy S10 starts at $900, and for that you get 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage, but there's also an 8 and 512 version. Then the S10 Plus starts at $1,000, which gets you 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage again, but if you spec it up, S10 Plus turns into a ceramic back instead of glass. And then there's an 8 by 512 version, or a ridiculous 1 terabyte model with 12 gigs of RAM. So I don't know if maybe you have a habit of bragging about how much RAM your phone has to your friends. I don't know what kind of person would use 12 gigs of RAM, but hey, you can do it now. 12 gigs of RAM in a phone. And let's not forget, Samsung's phones also have expandable storage via microSD, so you can have a terabyte of internal and a half a terabyte microSD card, so 1.5 terabytes of memory. So straight off the bat, with just that, Galaxy S10 and S10 Plus are looking like some really impressive, obviously well-spec'd flagships for 2019. And all of that takes us to Samsung's other phone that might kind of get lost in all this, which is Galaxy S10e. Now, I didn't want that to get buried or anything, so I have an entire separate video just on the Galaxy S10e and everything that's new with it and different from these S10s. So you can click here to watch that, or it'll be the first link below that like button, but that's the S10e. Bottom line with it, it's essentially their answer to the iPhone XR.